Today, on Be Something Wonderful, allow 3D reality to yield to you. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. If you saw on the channel, there's one of our subscribers, and I believe that her name on the channel is Henrietta. Henrietta has a 10-year-old son who watches her watching the videos and now is a fan of Be Something Wonderful, and he's been watching the videos. And so Henrietta wrote that he was upset. Why? He was manifesting not getting summer homework, right? And so then he found out that he was getting homework. And what Henrietta said is that he broke down in tears, saying, "This doesn't work. It's all fake." This is what we do, right? We break down, right? We go, "This isn't working. This doesn't work," right? So I want to really hold on to this. I really want to take a look at this, because this is why Jesus talked about be like little children, right? Be like children, because they really do believe. So that was the initial thing. And then I wrote back on the channel, if you're following the string, that what he was doing is he was focusing on not getting homework. In other words, he was really focused on what he doesn't want, right? The idea that, so instead of doing that, my recommendation was have him move his focus to what he does want. What does he really want? He wants a fun and free summer holiday. He wants to be free from homework, right? He wants to have that freedom. Instead of focusing on what I need to have or need to manifest to be free, hear this, the difference. Instead of what I need to have to be free and have fun, focus on the desired end of a fun and free holiday, homework-free holiday. Do you get the difference? Right? A lot of times we're focused on what we have to do to get what we desire versus the desired end, right? So I believe he made this adjustment. Henrietta wrote back, and on the channel this morning was, he doesn't have homework. He has now a fun and free holiday, right? Here's what's neat about this. It's his heart's desire. Right? This is a heart-based desire. This is not to manipulate reality or to get any. He just wants to have a fun and free summer. That's heart-based, right? So that's one of the keys, right, of your desires. And then, he did break down in tears, and he said it doesn't work, but he didn't hold on to that, right? He didn't hold on to those feelings and those thoughts. This is why when we're younger, we don't hang on to all that stuff, right? When Course in Miracles says hold on to nothing. He held on to none of it. So it doesn't mean that if you break down, if you have a moment where negativity gets in there or you're in tears, it's only the resistance to it that keeps us from what we really want. It's only holding on to that, right? Not being able to move from that. He quickly moved from that. Right? It didn't even happen now. And he moved to this state that what he really wants. That's how it works, guys. This is what I want to talk about today and more. So, when you focus on your desired end with absolute faith, complete conviction, and with a total knowing, 3D reality must yield to your inner state. Do you hear this? It doesn't matter if temporarily you had this thought or you had these feelings or even you broke down and cried. None of that matters. What matters is the focus on your desired end, what your true end is, not what you don't want, not what you have to do to get that end, not trying to resolve thoughts and feelings about the end, but absolute faith and complete conviction and total knowing. 3D reality must yield to it. Why? What usually happens? We yield to 3D reality, right? So that's what could have happened with this great little 10-year-old, right? He could have yielded to those thoughts and feelings that it's fake and that this is it. Instead, he just moved into the zone of what he wants, right? That's the state of grace. It's living from your heart, not from your head. Hear this, living from your heart, not from your head. That's a state of grace. It's the present moment. It's what is. It's living in the now. That's what young children do. They're great at that, right? They're living in the now. Remember, that is reality, right? Now is reality, not the contents and manifestations of already manifested reality, right? That's what we think sometimes. As we get older, we think that's reality. The dead past that we're looking around, the things that manifested what we don't want. Instead, the present moment, what is this now moment? Not the manifested reality, but in that now, right? That's where reality exists. He was quickly able to get back into that now moment to allow fresh new thought to come in, a fresh new thought of his desired end. That's so big. So remember, a state of grace is in the state of being now. But we spend a lot of time in states of lack, that illusionary state of wanting, trying, and doing something to make things happen, based on dead thoughts, old feelings, and idle desires. Right? We might want something, but it's based in lack, it's based on trying, it's based on doing. It's based on dead thoughts. The desires don't go anywhere. That's a contracting energy. We're reacting to reality. Right? We're yielding to 3D reality. We're not having 3D reality yield to us. It's wanting and desiring from a state of fear and need. We're stuck in the past, hoping for a better future. So big, right? But a state of grace is about intending. It's about feeling and knowing. It's not about feeling those temporal feelings of lack. It's about that feeling of that conviction within. It's about feeling that inner knowing. That's what a wish fulfilled is. That's the feeling. It's feeling that inner knowing, that inner conviction, that inner divinity, that you know that natural you, that natural ability, feeling that puts you in a state of grace. That puts you in new, fresh thought. Now you're creating, not reacting, not contracting. Right now you're expanding infinity, right? It's wanting for nothing. But remember, wanting for nothing doesn't mean you don't want anything. It means you don't need anything. It means you're picking what you want and you're moving to it because you know it's within you and you have it. There's a difference, right? There's a difference in that kind of wanting. A state of grace is allowing your natural divinity to work through you, right? To work through you. It's a trust in your inner authority, an absolute trust in your inner authority. Move to your desired end. So whenever you feel that you're getting, that there's thoughts and feelings that come up or conditions that come up, move back to your desired end. Move back to that absolute certainty within that it's yours. Move back to just put your focus on that desired end. I've been really threading this needle the last week or so, because that is really where your power is. All your power is here, right? Do nothing with your thoughts. Do nothing with your feelings. Do nothing with your desires, right? We feel like if we have a desire, we got to start doing something. We got to start moving and doing something to make it happen, right? Or we feel like we have to resolve these temporarily negative feelings that we're feeling right now about it, some of these doubts. Instead, move into your desired end. Do nothing with all that. Focus on your desired end. Be present with your desired end. Stop trying to resolve your thoughts and feelings about reality. Remember, thoughts and feelings about reality are not reality. They're based on limiting assumptions and beliefs, old, dead beliefs that are really just old, dead thoughts that you thought a lot about and started believing that they're true. Started believing that they are reality. Do nothing. That takes your focus off what you really want. Fear is not of the present, but only of the past and future, which do not exist. A Course in Miracles. Fear is not even real. It's not of the present moment. There's nothing to fear there. It's of a past and future that don't exist. We talked about that, right? So, your decision to see is all that vision requires. This is A Course in Miracles. What you want is yours. Course in Miracles tells us this. What you want is yours. Your decision or your choice to see is all that vision requires. Your decision or choice of your desired end, to see your desired end is all that's needed. What you want is yours. You see the flesh or recognize the spirit. There is no compromise between the two. This is what A Course in Miracles says. You can't be of double minds, right? Choose today whom you will serve, right? So you see the flesh, in other words, you look around at manifested 3D reality and believe in that, or you recognize the spirit behind it all. The power behind it all, your inner authority that's behind all of it. There's no compromise between the two. Instead of yielding to the 3D reality of temporary effects and manifestations and to the temporary thoughts and feelings about that reality, allow 3D reality to yield to your desires. What you desire, you will see. Course in Miracles tells us that. That is how to allow 3D reality to yield to you. I am your host, Tom Caron, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. You can hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful. We have a group called the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors on facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. That's an open group. Feel free to join that. And you can also join us on Facebook and Instagram at Tom Caron, or visit my website or our website anytime at tomcaron.com or besomethingwonderful.com. Creators, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, see you soon.